Hey guys, what's going on? It's Hunter here, and oddly enough, I actually just put out a video sometime last week talking about how I completely, changed my room around and did all that finally after being at this house for 7.5 years. And then a day or two later, found out that my girlfriend's aunt actually has a house that she would be willing to rent us for $500 a month. And yeah, so essentially I'm going to be moving out on the 19th. And this video I'm going to try and keep as brief as possible, but I'm going to run you guys through a bunch of things, including very personal things I have never spoken about before on stream or on my YouTube channel. So the house that her and I are going to be moving into is a 3-bed, 1-bath, has a massive garage, and I honestly think it might be bigger than the garage that we have at this house. But this isn't my house, so I don't really care, and we overspend because of it. Not to mention, this house will also have a completely fenced-in backyard, which is perfect for my dog because he's good about staying in the yard, doesn't go up by the road, nothing like that, but here lately he has been going over to the neighbors' yards and everything else since we don't have a fence, and it hasn't caused problems, but it's a bad habit of his, and the only way I could fix it is by chaining him up. But with it being wintertime in the Midwest, and specifically where I'm from, Michigan, it is very, very cold, and I don't want to have to walk him out back and all that. So we just let him out. He eventually does come back, but as I said, he just ventures too far, so that'll be a nice addition. Not to mention, with it being a 3-bedroom, and her and I, of course, being in a relationship, we're only going to have our bedroom, but then what do we do with the 2 others? So to prevent us from, getting sick of each other, or if we get in an argument, we have our own space. The other 2 bedrooms are going to be our gaming / whatever rooms, our hobby rooms, essentially. Mine's more of a gaming room / office space, but hers she can turn into whatever she wants it to be, and hopefully I can get her, a job where I work so it can be her office space as well. But, that remains to be seen. We just need an opening. I've already made it aware to my boss, or made him aware, I should say, of the fact that she is interested in getting a job, so hopefully one day. Now, all of this stuff, right, is going to be huge. I actually forgot to throw in the fact that in my room, she's going to have a desk that she can bring her laptop into, so that way she can, sit in my room and everything while I'm at work, or not, at work, but while I'm working, and it will make it to where we can actually spend time with each other throughout the day, and we don't have to, stay apart the whole day. Now, with every good thing, not every, but at least in my life, with every good thing, it seems like there's always a negative, and unfortunately, that happens to be the case with this situation. So, something that I haven't been very vocal about on my YouTube channel, and honestly I've just started getting into with my therapist, is living with my dad is not the greatest thing. I'll be honest with you guys, it has not been a very peaceful 7.5 years. Really, he has not made my life peaceful as a whole. There's a whole bunch of things that, it's not that I really care to share, but I don't really feel like it's my place to put it out on the internet. Maybe once I've talked it through in therapy, and I'm sure it's had like a lasting effect on me that I haven't really fully realized yet. So maybe once I work through it, I'll do a whole video detailing what that was like and all that. But to break it down, my dad, he grew up in a different time period. He hasn't got diagnosed with anything. He just assumes everything is fine type situation. So he is a for sure narcissist. He 100% has NPD, which stands for narcissistic personality disorder. There is zero possible chance that he is not. you could have a 10-minute conversation with him, and if you know the telltale signs, you would know immediately. So, you know, he's going to be 50 in 2 years, so 49 this year, basically 50, right? And instead of, you know, we all know people that are in their 40s, 50s, and especially if they have their shit together, they don't rely on anyone. They became a long time ago anyway, a very self-reliant machine. They know that their bills need to get paid. They know they need to make X amount of money in order to pay those bills, yada yada, whatever. Well, my dad, he has that part figured out. He for sure could maintain every bill at this house and then some and still be fine every month. He just wouldn't be able to spend as frugally. So, even though I wouldn't be being a dick in the first place, it's not like he's disabled or anything like that to not be able to provide for himself. All that is possible. He has just decided as of a couple years ago to, instead of maintaining that and just expecting me to pay at least some amount of money in bills, which I understand, I'm turning 23 in February, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying I shouldn't have to pay any bills, especially with him being a single parent, but me having to pay half of quite literally every single bill, even though I use it, yes, but I'm not trying to sound snobby or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, as a parent, you are not supposed to be putting that kind of stress and weight on your kid. And especially the fact that, like, for a while there, I didn't feel like I could really move on and do my own thing with my own life because of him and him putting that type of shit onto me. So in saying that, him relying on me is going to be an issue for him, not so much for me. And for anyone that has been fortunate enough not to have met or at least had to deal with a narcissist, you guys don't fully understand, you guys don't fully understand the scope of the situation. And what I mean by that is narcissists like to have control and they like to be able to benefit from any situation, essentially without recognizing the fact that just because they're benefiting, someone else may be getting hurt from the situation. So in my case, it's more or less like what I've noticed with my dad is that he's super manipulative, which is true with all narcissists, but it's not so much that as with him expecting all of this stuff from me, he gets that sense of control. You know what I mean? Like when he asks me to clean the house and that's the thing, I don't care to clean the house. It's the fact that I'm expected to clean the house and that I am told to, not asked or anything like that. I am told to as if I'm 15 years old. So that's been pissing me off for years now, especially again, since I pay half of everything. It's fucked up that gets put onto me like it's my responsibility. But what I was going to say when it came to other people is that he's like a leech. You know, if something didn't have blood, a leech isn't going to want to leech onto it. Well, in the case of a narcissist, they want to try and drain everything that they can that benefits their situation. And quite frankly, I've been dealing with it for so damn long now that I am just exhausted of this shit. I cannot keep dealing with it every day, and not to mention, look, I'm not sitting here trying to play victim, I'll get that out of the way, but to say that my dad, or to try and say that my dad doesn't verbally abuse me would be me straight lying to everyone watching this right now. It's been a thing since, quite honestly, I was a kid, and after years and years of it affecting me, I ended up not letting it affect me, but now it's just gotten to the point that, like, I can't stand him, and he just pisses me off. So in saying all of this, you know, that's going to be the biggest thing. I have not told my dad I want to in this coming week, and if I have to move out, so be it. I'll move out earlier. He just won't get any of the money, which is a deal I was going to make with him, is since I was staying for about halfway through the month, I would give him half of my half of rent, and I would pay half of the normal bills like I had been. And I was going to work out a deal with internet because he has outstanding debt with Spectrum, which at our house is the only ISP that will provide internet. So I was going to give him $100 towards it, and then he was going to pay me the internet bill for the next month, and I would let him keep internet here until he got it all paid off. And I'm still going to offer that to him, but it just depends on how he goes about the situation. So the next downsides, they're not huge, it just sucks, so I'm going to have to figure it out. I have to transfer my vehicle title to Ohio so I can get Ohio plates and Ohio insurance. And then the other thing, that whole process is whatever. I knew I'd have to do it anyways, but the next big thing is that I'm going to have to find new doctors down there, and fortunately my endocrinologist actually has an office down where I'm going to be living, so that part's covered. I just have to go to that office now instead, which again is fine. But my cardiologist, who is down the road from me now, would be about 40-45 minutes away, and with me tweaking out and having massive anxiety every time I go to the doctors, a 45-minute drive is not going to do me good. So unfortunately, I am going to have to start going and seeing someone down where I'm going to be living. But, hopefully it's close to home, so it's not like a 10-15 minute drive over. And yeah. The other thing is that I am going to be further away from my friends, but my entire life, my dad has dictated who I'm allowed to have over, when I'm allowed to have them over, everything like that, even after I started paying bills. There was this one time with my buddy Seth when I was like, hey, he wants to, come stay the night, come hang out, whatever. And at the time I was paying bills, and he said no at first, and then he was like, I can't really tell you no, you do pay half the bills. He has never said anything like that since. It was very much so a one-time thing. But anyways, enough with me ranting and raving about my dickhead dad. That's basically everything. And yeah, so give it about a month from now. I will definitely be uploading a YouTube video detailing the house and all that stuff. And needless to say, I am extremely excited to get out of my current living situation and be able to move on with my own life, regardless of if it affects my dad and I's already tarnished relationship. It's on him at this point to try and fix it, because I'm not going to haggle with a narcissist, because there is no getting them to realize simple things. If you guys are more interested in how narcissists work, I would not recommend Googling a lot of things, but that is one thing that I feel like would be a great resource for anything like that. And there's a plethora of YouTube videos detailing either what it's like living with a narcissist or just what narcissists do to people. So I'll leave you guys with that. And with all that being said, I look forward to this next year of 2023. And again, I will see you guys all whenever it is that I decide to make a video next.